Hello, I'm Steve Brand. I've recently made a pretty dramatic change in my overall diet. I was gaining quite a bit of weight, and then I was starting to have some health issues that were starting to pile up and get worse. So I found myself having to make a pretty dramatic change, otherwise, I might suffer permanent health problems. I had stumbled, luckily, upon an article that talked about a condition that seemed to really describe everything that I had been suffering from. That condition is gluten sensitivity. The results I've found since realizing there was such a thing as gluten sensitivity and changing my diet have been astounding. Which really leads me to believe that for some people, a gluten free diet may be beneficial for overall health and quality of life. Now, first of all, what is gluten? Well, gluten is a substance present in cereal grains, especially wheat, that is responsible for the elastic texture of dough. Now, gluten can be found in many, many different foods. According to the Celiac Disease Foundation website, common foods that contain gluten are pastas, noodles, breads and pastries, crackers, baked goods, cereal and granola, breakfast foods, breading and coating mixes, croutons, sauces and gravies, flour tortillas, and my favorite, beer and then brewer's yeast, unfortunately. So, in certain people who are sensitive to gluten, this causes the immune system to mount an attack against it. Now, in celiac disease, which is the most severe form of gluten sensitivity, the immune system attacks the gluten proteins, but it also attacks an enzyme in the cells of the digestive tract called transglutaminase. This is according to a Healthline.com article published November 11th, 2013. Now, according to the same website, in a separate article published September 29th, 2016, there are 14 signs and symptoms of gluten intolerance. Now, these are bloating, diarrhea, constipation, and smelly feces, abdominal pain, headaches, feeling tired, stomach problems, depression, unexplained weight loss, iron deficiency anemia, anxiety, autoimmune disorders, joint and muscle pain, leg or arm numbness, and brain fog. Now, I suffered, I would say, from the majority of those symptoms. So, in going to a gluten free diet, all of my symptoms have completely gone away. The one major issue for me was the joint and muscle pain. As a guitar player, as you can see, uh, I using my hands performing was a big thing, and during shows, my hands would cramp up. I would get severe pains in my hands, and it was really getting to the point where I was starting to have to think about whether I was even going to be able to play guitar at all anymore, just because it hurt so badly. So, that's a devastating thought. But within the first week of starting the gluten-free diet, all the pain, inflammation, soreness, joint pain, everything was gone within the first week. My hands haven't felt this good since I was in my 20s. Now, a gluten-free diet may not be effective for everyone. Robert Schmerling, MD of Harvard University School, states, and I quote, "There is no compelling evidence that a gluten-free diet will improve health if you don't have celiac disease. The same is true if you can eat gluten without trouble. Of course, future research could change this. We may someday learn that at least some people without celiac disease or symptoms of intestinal disease are better off avoiding gluten." End quote. The only thing I can say is that a gluten-free diet has worked wonders for me and my quality of life, as well as several of my friends who have adopted the same diet since seeing the success that I've had with it. With gluten intolerance becoming more well known, there are a lot more gluten-free food options, thankfully, out there. For example, if you're a bread lover, which I totally am, there are several bread companies that offer gluten-free bread. And that is something I'm extremely happy about. because cutting out bread has been very difficult, but finding a gluten-free option has been great. I don't feel like I'm missing something out of my life. And the plus is, it actually tastes pretty good. So, a gluten-free diet may be beneficial for overall health and quality of life. Again, it may not work for everyone, but if you find yourself suffering from some of the symptoms of gluten intolerance, it may be worth taking a look at gluten-free diet. I know my life has changed dramatically because of the diet. So, maybe take a look at it if you are suffering. Anyway, thanks so much. Talk to you soon.